If you've been a fan of rap music over the last decade, there's no way you missed Rich Homie Quan's infectious melodies and distinct voice. He brought a unique flair to the rap game that felt authentic, a mix of raw emotion and southern hustle. But while many know the hits, not everyone knows the full story of Rich Homie Quan's rise to fame and the heartbreaking struggles that came with it. So, let's break it down in a journey through his highs, lows, and everything in between. The humble beginnings in Atlanta. Before the world knew him as Rich Homie Quan, he was Dequantes Lamar, born and raised in Atlanta, Georgia. Quan grew up in a working-class neighborhood, and like many young boys in the South, he had dreams of becoming a professional athlete. Baseball was his passion, and he was pretty good too. But life had other plans for him. Quan's story didn't start with rap. It started with a dream deferred. He was a star on his high school baseball team, but after graduating, he found himself drifting, unable to secure a stable path in sports. That's when the street started calling, and like so many others before him, he had to hustle to survive. The first taste of music. With sports behind him, Quan turned to another passion that had been growing quietly in the background: music. Influenced by Southern rap legends like Lil Wayne and Outkast, he began writing and rapping. What started as a hobby quickly turned into a full-fledged pursuit. His early mixtapes, including I Go In on Every Song and Still Goin' In, started catching local attention. But it wasn't until his breakout single, Type of Way, that things really took off. The song went viral, and suddenly, Rich Homie Quan was a household name. Breaking into the mainstream. In 2013, Type of Way became the anthem of the summer. Everyone from casual fans to big-name celebrities was jamming to it. Its infectious hook and relatable lyrics resonated with a broad audience. Quan's style was different. Melodic, emotional, but still hard-hitting. It was a new wave of rap that mixed traditional street narratives with something that felt personal. Type of Way peaked at number 50 on the Billboard Hot 100, solidifying Quan's spot in the rap game. This success quickly led to collaborations with some of the biggest names in the industry, including YG and Young Thug. The Rich Gang era. Around this time, Quan linked up with Birdman's Rich Gang Collective, which became a pivotal moment in his career. He teamed up with another rising star, Young Thug, and the two created magic together. Songs like Lifestyle became instant hits, and their chemistry was undeniable. The Rich Gang, The Tour. Part 1 mixtape is still regarded as a classic by many fans. However, while the duo appeared unstoppable, there were already signs of tension brewing behind the scenes. Birdman's influence, combined with differences between Quan and Thug, would eventually lead to one of the most significant splits in recent hip-hop history. The start of the downfall. Despite his growing fame, things weren't all smooth sailing for Quan. After his success with Rich Gang, fans expected him to drop an album that would cement his place among the greats. But that album never came. Instead, there were delays, label issues, and rumors of beef between him and Young Thug. In 2015, Quan was arrested on drug charges while traveling to a show. Though the charges were eventually dropped, the incident was a major setback for his career. It wasn't just about legal trouble. Quan was struggling personally, too. His relationship with the music industry, once exciting, now seemed fraught with obstacles. Personal tragedies. One of the most heartbreaking parts of Quan's story is the personal loss he experienced. In 2017, his father, who had always been a huge supporter of his career, was shot multiple times outside a barbershop in Atlanta. Though his father survived, the event deeply affected Quan. It was a traumatic experience that pushed him to reevaluate his life. He stepped back from music for a while to focus on his family and mental health. But in an industry that moves as fast as hip-hop, a break can often mean falling off completely, fading from the spotlight. As Rich Homie Quan took a step back, the rap game continued to evolve. New artists were coming in, and the spotlight he once held began to fade. Quan had tried to keep momentum with mixtapes and singles, but none of them matched the success of his earlier work. Part of the issue was that Quan never released a proper debut album at the height of his fame. When he finally dropped Rich As in Spirit in 2018, the buzz just wasn't there anymore. The album didn't have the same impact as his earlier work, and many considered it a missed opportunity. The split with Young Thug. Arguably, one of the most talked-about moments in Quan's career was his fallout with Young Thug. The two had an undeniable chemistry, creating some of the best music of the 2010s. However, behind the scenes, things were rocky. Whether it was ego, creative differences, or external influences, their partnership dissolved. Fans were left wondering what could have been. For years, there were rumors of beef between the two. In interviews, Thug threw shade at Quan, and Quan, while less direct, made it clear that things weren't the same. Though both have since moved on, the end of their collaboration was one of the most heartbreaking chapters in Quan's career. Attempts at a comeback. Rich Homie Quan didn't give up, though. Even after setbacks and personal tragedies, he continued to release music. In interviews, he spoke about his desire to regain the throne and prove that he was more than just a phase. But in an industry that thrives on the next big thing, making a comeback isn't easy. He released new singles, collaborated with other artists, and even dropped a few projects, but none reached the heights of his Rich Gang days. Fans were loyal, but the mainstream appeal had waned. The tragic end. As Rich Homie Quan's career seemed to be slowly slipping away, tragedy struck in the most devastating way possible. In a heartbreaking turn of events, Quan was found dead in his Atlanta home on September 5, 2024. His passing sent shockwaves through the hip-hop community, leaving fans, family, and fellow artists grappling with the sudden loss of a talent that once shone so brightly. While details surrounding his death remain scarce, early reports suggest that he may have struggled with depression and other personal demons that went unspoken for years. Some speculated that his career struggles, combined with the loss of his father and the pressures of fame, took an overwhelming toll on him. It was a tragic and unexpected end to a life that had once been full of promise. Quan's death was a sobering reminder of the toll that the music industry can take on artists, especially those who find themselves grappling with fame, success, and personal hardships all at once. That's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. If you haven't already, then don't forget to subscribe and press that like button. Also, hit the bell icon so you could never miss new updates from us. Thank you for watching, and we will meet you in the next one.